Well, these are people, of course, they have nothing to lose now. They can criticize the president as far as they want. They can ask tough questions to his nominees and his cabinet when they come before the Senate. But ultimately, I don't expect these people, when it comes down to it, to actually harm the Republican Senate's ability to pass the president's agenda. For instance, Cassidy reportedly gave the president a very hard time about the Iran war, voted for the War Powers Resolution, and then the time there was a second vote, he actually turned around, said he was pleased with what the president said, and voted against it. So I think that at the end of the day, these people are still Republicans, and I don't expect them to get in the way too significantly of the president's agenda. But I do think, particularly with Reconciliation 3.0, having the Save America Act attached to it poses additional challenges. So Tillis's no vote could be very significant in that case.
I think part of the challenge, though, is that there's increasingly less and less incentive to go with President Trump. One, because the approval ratings are so low, but two, come November, there will be a midterm election, and then folks need to start looking forward to 2028. Like the sort of Trump mojo might still be there, but he's sort of losing it.
Yeah, but then don't you get to turn the SAVE Act and the election stuff into a voting issue for your base to say, kind of like what Democrats would say with abortion, to say, like, look, here's what's at stake, the Senate. And the Senate is getting in the way of this thing that's really important to us.
I don't know what the polling on that kind of bears out at the present moment. I just feel like I agree with her that this is ultimately something that they're going to cave on. I mean, look at the case with acting AG Blanche, where Tillis says you have to meet with Epstein victims as this is some kind of hurdle, and he does.
Yeah, but he did it like
however much friction there may have been. My only point being is this is a small hurdle to put in front of a guy who is manifestly unqualified for this. And if you really had genuine antipathy for the president's agenda in any kind of real way, that's not a real hurdle, and him clearing it wouldn't mean anything to begin with. So I'm of the belief that ultimately they're going to fold.
But one thing I would say, it's remarkable that we are now a couple days after the hearing for the Attorney General, and that these hoops are having to be jumped through by the nominee and by the White House because the president spent all his time pissing off these Republican senators, right? He needs the votes of John Cornyn and Tom Tillis.
Here's an example of the Cornyn one. I want to let you finish your point, right? Like, I did not expect, I thought a Democrat would be still talking about this at a hearing. Instead, it was John Cornyn talking about that anti-weaponization fund, which the administration had, allegedly caved and backed down. It wasn't enough for this Texas senator.
I think what I confirmed is that the weaponization fund is still can be revived. And so this idea that it's somehow gone is just not true.
I need a work